and I wanted to kind of go Grixis. I was pretty interested in still maintaining the Wasp plus Death Shadow combo. This combo felt really good in Dimir, while being a bit more aggressive in general. It felt like the Dimir builds, while like still enjoying this combo, the fact that you were so threat light in those builds, it felt like you were a little less good at utilizing the aggressive elements there. I also think it's a pretty good format for Stubborn Denial too, so I wanted to have some access to the card. I don't think you need to be like super duper maxed out. But this is more or less where I ended up. More or less where we ended up. We're playing one flow state as like the fifth expressive iteration, and aside from the Wondrous Wasp and the flow states and the iterations, they just have one drops to hit. So I'm liking being like really really low on the mana curve while also being really high on the card draw. That makes sense. Sideboard is pretty boring. Sideboard is pretty boring, but that's kind of the you know I guess I don't know where I'm going with this, but there's a lot of Reanimator. You need the Meltdown so you can see to Affinity. I think it's a good Vexing Bauble format with how much Neoform there are, and I like the Edicts against Affinity, Leyline Scion, and Blink. No, we have a Steam Vents as our one land? Dude, we have triple Moonshadow, Wraith Bauble, we have a Steam Vents. Devastating. The Steam Vents is here to mock me again, although we are going to keep this on 6. Pretty good 6. So anyway, I was testing that build, and I was trying Black Widow, because I think one thing that deck is missing is like a quantity of threats. Like I'm having to play like Airship and Emrakul the sideboard, because against Blink you just don't have enough threats, and even it feels a bit weird to, and Boros too. I think you just like don't have enough threats sometimes, and so I'm playing Black Widow, and I'm playing like I might end up surveilling, or am I always gonna surveil? I guess I'm always gonna surveil with no Death Shadow in my hand. So let's just do that main phase, get a little bit of extra power toughness here. So anyways, I'm playing Black Widow, trying to test the card. I literally never draw it once in like 6 matches, and I have 3 copies in the deck. So I'm not planning on playing Black Widow when we play the deck on stream, but I am saying I still don't know how good or bad that card is. Okay, they find a Witherbloom Charm, which is interesting one for them to be playing. I think I'm just gonna surveil again and just hold up double iteration or double stub this turn. Maybe you can grow the Moonshadow again. Sure, let's just make it a 5/5. Did people want Ragavan? I think Ragavan. So I'm already playing 16 1-mana creatures, and I think they're all better than Ragavan in this deck. It's just like, you know, the when you play Bauble and Street Wraith, like your Moonshadows and your Nethergoyfs and your Channelers just get so good. I think it's hard to include. It's a good draw. Yeah, I'll Stubborn Denial also. It's just like, I just don't think it's a Ragavan deck. So they have 2 Witherbloom Charms. I don't think we care that much about. I think we just take the Agent. Maybe my opponent is going to cast Ice Fang this turn, because, I mean, obviously these stubs are kind of telegraphed. I guess I will Shock. I think with double blue in my hand, I'll just get blue land here. Card just down. The card Wasp has been testing better than Dress Down. In addition to Wasp being like kind of a removal spell, so like when you play Wasp here, you get to be kind of low on your removal quantity, which I think is nice. This is not. I don't think this is. It's not a format that you want to be main decking like a million Fatal Pushes and Lightning Bolts and stuff like that, and so it gives you that luxury. So we'll see if they drew a Flare. This is a very classic game of I play a big creature, and then I attack you with it a bunch after I protect it with my 1-mana counter spells. Nice. So we're up a game against Simic Ritual. We're going to bring in the Vexing Baubles. Don't think the Edicts are really bad against them. I'm a little bit dubious on the Wasp. Wasp can be kind of good against Oculus. Wasp to power up my Death Shadow, I'm not so sure. I think I'll just go down on my Mishra's Baubles, though, with all these Vexing Baubles. Do you think the new Emrakul that takes control of all creatures would be good in the Trudge deck? I have actually been thinking a lot about that card lately. Let's keep this. I like that effect is so powerful. That effect is so powerful, and the fact that it doesn't see any play at all right now is it's a little bit of a shame. So I've been thinking a lot about that card, and do I take the Dispute for the iteration? I think I take the Ice Fang. I've been thinking a lot about that card, and I've been trying to build some decks with it. and I'm having a really hard time. As far as it's like it's weird to like just not play it in a deck that can madness it, and the Eldrazi can make so much mana. It's almost easier just to spend 12 mana than it is to madness the card. It's almost easier to spend 12 mana than it is to madness card. And I've been developing a bit of madness myself about it, where I'm almost thinking to myself, go put Moonshadow first. That do I want to try to like discard at the hand size as my main madness enabler? And like that, I don't think that can really be a thing. I don't think that can really be a thing. With their One Ring being banned, of course, and I don't know. I keep getting really lost in the sauce on that card, and I'm trying not to. Okay. Street Wraith's a good pickup. We do have Unholy Heats in our deck, and we have a Mountain in our hand, luckily. So, I was trying to play the new Emrakul in the Trash for Treasure Shell, where you're already in Ugin's Labyrinth deck with Eldrazi Temple and Faithless Looting. Oh, dude, your Swamp. I guess we can play the Iteration too. I don't think I care much about playing a fetch land for value. Hand bottom, exile. My opponent also did not. I know their hand is Force of Negation, Mystical Dispute, and they did not counter my Iteration. I think. Okay, I don't know what's going on. And then, I guess I wasn't expecting this jump block either. Could have. I don't know. I thought they were gonna go to 1. I guess going to 1's not an option. All right, I don't know. A good matchup maybe. As your top end, beautiful hand here. The Shadow in current year, hell yeah. Yeah, Shadow's been testing reasonably well for us, and I guess just in general, the metagame is like really fast and really combo focused, and this tends to be the kind of metagame the Death Shadow decks do well in, particularly the versions with Stubborn Denial, which is why I'm more in on this than the Rakdos version. Speaking of which, well, my opponent has 4 Allosaurus Riders. I guess I'll take the Planar Genesis. And again, Infern Flow, thank you for the 28 months. I feel like this was like definitely a Mold 5, right? This was not supposed to be a keep on 6 on the draw. I like the Formidable Speaker shout for new Emrakul. That's interesting. One thing it would be way better if you could tutor it and discard it all at once. But it is an interesting thought. I guess a little awkward that we don't have Ferocious right now. The wrong deck. Let's see. Let me give me a second and I can make sure it's correct. Okay, the stub. I think I'm always gonna go cast Unholy Heat here. So this gives me Ferocious, and this gives me the ability to flow state next turn. If I want. I guess I don't actually know that I want to do that and tap up for the stub. Casting Emrakul off Winter Night Stories. Yeah, maybe more of a blue build is... I have been kind of wanting blue Eldrazi lately. I don't know about Winter Night Stories particularly, but Yeah, this is good. You could dude attack. Imagine attack with the Grand Madness and Emrakul. It is a 0 mana discard outlet, which is kind of nice. All right, let me update the Mox field. Yeah, I mean, it seems like I just want to hold up the stub. Maybe I could bobble myself, and if there's a blue source on top, then it's fine to cast the flow state. Although I also don't I don't even know if this game is like possibly losable. Like I don't know that they could have drawn. I guess they could have drawn Pact and but why are they? Why are okay? They have Neoform, sure. So they're gonna go to 1. Like do they even have like a thing? Even if they have Pact of Negation, they don't have Consign. So like I don't even know how they what like okay let's see what their plan is. They have 1 card in their hand. Galta for Disciple of Phraleus. What the hell? Let's go. How did we lost this game? What the fuck? That's crazy, dude, that we lost this game. I forgot that they had the extra pact. Yeah, that's why he won the Pro Tour. Alright, we'll bring in the Edicts, we'll bring in the Vexing Baubles. Yeah, that's a plan. How do we feel about the Wondrous Wasp? Wasp's kind of sick, actually. Kind of. I guess they still get to draw a bunch of cards off Gristlebrand. Oh, I didn't upload this. I thought this was been in the Mox field for days. Okay, hold on. So we have no interaction. Got a mulligan. Gonna keep. I think I'll probably just put back the Edicts. Okay, sorry about the delay of the Mox field. Here it is. I don't think I want to draw basic mountain very badly. What are your thoughts on Warping Will and Trudge? Great against Neoform and Storm, and good in the mirror against Boros. It's not a card you can hold up. I guess you can if you have K command, but I don't believe that. I would rather just play proactive cards in all of these matchups than reactive cards. Link broken? No, it's broken for me too. Right, give me a second. I think I'm going to wait to turn on the Street Wraith in case I draw a Moonshadow. Sure. It's interesting they didn't play the Preordain. So I think I'm going to take the Preordain this turn, and then I'm going to take the Stub next turn. Delete the V at the end of the link? Oh, maybe I hit... Okay, thanks. Yeah, I probably just hit V when I typed Control V or something. Thoughts on Faithful Discovery, the Enchantress for Artifacts was spoiled yesterday? I haven't seen it. I'd love to take a look, though. Sounds interesting. Hooting Mandrills is actually a really annoying top deck for me. I like on a 2-turn clock unless I find a Death Shadow or a good Nethergoyf. What a game, dude. I guess could have kept the Edicts as well. Now, also, if they just have a green card, I guess they just play the Rider. They don't, thankfully. So I need to find 1 mana black creature that's not Moonshadow. Alright. So they keep a card on top, which I imagine is them just gonna cast their they're just gonna cast their Mandrills. Or should I cast the Rider? Oh no, it's just Eldritch Evolution. Dude, this match sucked. That match sucked. Alright, let's keep this. I think I'd like to lead on the Channeler. It doesn't really work with Mox. What card doesn't work with Mox? What about Stubborn Denial and Trudge? You can't. I don't think you should splash blue for it. Mana requirements are pretty steep. Okay, this lets me go for Shadow next turn, which is really important with the... I could guess Shadow and Wasp. Well, gotta take the Ral, I guess. Well, I guess I could Wasp the Ral also. Yeah, I saw the Prismatic Vista for Elves. I don't really think it's very interesting. So we're gonna attack them down to 18. They're gonna fetch down to 17. I think I have exactly... I have 16 damage next turn, which is gonna be one short. So I guess I could go Legend Rule. I guess I could go play New Wasp. No, it doesn't work. I guess I could go Unholy Heat my Shadow, Legend Rule Wasp for Delirium for lethal. Uncover the Moon doesn't let you draw cards off Mox, if that's what I was implying. No, I'm talking about Key to the Side Door. I don't... It says discard a legendary card with the same name as a legendary permanent you control, then draw 2 cards. So in your Tamio, Imri, Mox Opal, Mox Amber piles, you could get this off Urza Saga, and you could like loot those away. Okay, so my Death Shadow is a 13/13. So graveyard this, I guess, although it doesn't really matter. We'll just do the floodline. So I'm gonna play Wondrous Wasp. I'm gonna keep the old one. This will give me Delirium. And then I'll attack for lethal. Okay, so we're going to game 2 against Storm. Kind of a matchup that I think we're pretty good against game 1. I'm going to bring in the Nihil Spellbombs. If you have Nihil Spellbomb plus Vexing Bauble, it's kind of nice because this both stops Ral. So maybe a little awkward that like it can be tough to get Delirium on time for Unholy Heat for Ral. We also have Wondrous Wasp sometimes for Ral. It's kind of the better answer to it, honestly. I think I'm going to trim 1 copy of Unholy Heat. And then probably 1 Flow State, 1 Expressive Iteration. Uncover the Moonlighter seemed way too expensive. Wait, not card. Yeah, every time with the 5 mana Enchantress for artifacts, I don't know. I don't want to completely write that card out because this is a Mox Opal, Mox Amber, Springleaf Drum format. Like you can cast that card on turn 2. It's not gonna happen very often, but like to me it just doesn't seem like something I want to dismiss yet. If I draw a Moonshadow, I'll play it. Could I go for... I guess I could go for turn 2 Death Shadow if I drew another Wraith. Although now I think I need to play this Death Shadow or this Thoughtseize so that I can take a Ruby. They do have a Ruby, and we've got... I guess we have Wasp for Ral maybe, so let's take that and probably need to find the second land. Is there room for the Upheaval show you played? I don't think you'd want to Upheaval bounce your 5 mana card draw engine. You probably want to combo with it. Yeah, you could go like retract, pop off. I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting effect. It's a very unique effect. Whenever there's a unique effect like this, you gotta pay some extra attention to it. So they're not playing the Ral. So I'm gonna hit them down to 16. I guess I just play a Channeler, and if I draw a blue source, I have lethal with Wasp. But if not, we're gonna go to game 3. Ragavan Wolf. Yeah, I'm looking at spoilers too. Whenever, okay, two mana, 3/2 trample. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, put a counter on target wolf you control, +1 counter, or make a treasure token. That card might be very good in standard. Land? Ah. Come on, blue source on top. Not a blue source. Feels bad to bottom a land here. Opponent would have been way better off if they just played a Ral earlier. Now they're playing a Ruby. We find the blue source. Great. So remember that you have to attack with the Death Shadow before you cast the Wasp. Otherwise, you tap it. If it's already tapped, it doesn't mind being tapped. Have really liked the Wondrous Wasp a lot in these Death Shadow shells. I don't love having double Wasp. I might mulligan this. So I thought there was one more card someone had asked me about from the Hobbit spoilers, and I can't find it. Okay, let's keep this. Mana's a little bit weird. In standard, you die turn 3 a lot, really. Yeah, I guess we go Shadow into Shadow Channeler. The draw against Devourer of Destiny. Hobbit Notaries, is this it? Yeah, this is it, okay. 5 mana. When this enters, if it isn't a token, make 2 copies of this creature except they aren't legendary. Okay, when it enters, if this is not a token, make 2 tokens of this creature except they aren't legendary, and you add a colorless for each halfling you control. I guess halflings just love adding colorless. Don't mean to stereotype them, but seems to be the case. So I guess rules question. If I use Arena of Glory on this card, I don't think it's gonna work this way, but if I use Arena of Glory on this card, do the token copies gain haste as well? And I think the answer to that question is probably going to be no, but it kind of needs to be yes if we're going to really seriously talk about this card. Oh shoot, the Steam Vents is in my hand. I guess it's okay for me to play the Steam Vents and then play the Iteration next turn. Yeah, no, I didn't think it worked that way. There was another like card you could haste. I can't remember. It also copied itself. I can't remember, but I think it didn't work that way. If you could go like Arena of Glory. This card, you have 9 mana immediately. I mean, that's kind of interesting, right? But as it stands, I don't know. I mean, you could like Shang-Chi and then have 9 mana. It's like it's not crazy. Not crazy to play this in Badgermole, I guess. I don't love that it only makes colorless mana, but I guess if you have a Leyline or a Badgermole, it does make green. So remember that if we surveil a permanent into the graveyard with Channeler, it grows the Moonshadows. Nice. I guess we'll just go hand bottom, probably exile a Wasp, and then save this for next turn. Would have been great to hit the Bauble off the Iteration. We would have been maybe trigger the Moonshadows twice off of that. What are we gonna take there? Tough call. Are they really putting Settled Wreckage back into standard? I mean, it was pretty fine the first time it was legal. I think it was a generally a fun card to exist. This is definitely a thought-provoking card, I should say also, and maybe in the Badger, you do play Delighted Halfling in the Badgermole deck. So like, say if you have 1 Delighted Halfling and you have Shang-Chi, which is a lot, it does come down and it does make 12 mana for 5 mana. It's interesting. Probably just like worse than like playing a second Ashaya. Yeah, this is like the most compelling card for the set for me, probably. This card is really interesting. Opponents try to chomp, they can't. It's got menace. I saw this. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may draw X cards or X the amount of mana spent to cast a spell. If you do, discard 2. So you only really ever does anything if the mana value is 2 or more, which is kind of awkward. I wish this let my opponent jump block, but unfortunately, Moonshadow doesn't is too good for Fleshraker. So I guess they're gonna try to set up for an ensnaring bridge turn. They could block one of my two shadows. So they're 5 power each right now. I don't have Delirium at the moment, although I believe this gives me the Delirium I need. Well, I guess they're gonna get to go. They are gonna get to go Crypt, and the Fleshraker is gonna be able to eat the Channeler. I guess that's not that big a deal. My Moonshadows are both max power. Karn is dead. They're gonna double block us Moonshadow and then eat the Channeler with the Fleshraker. I guess if they do just draw a land and cast the Devour, we're not in very good shape. We're like we're trading a Moonshadow for a Devourer, and then we just kind of have no board. Wasn't Heat creature lethal? No. If we heat the Fleshraker, they shrink the Channeler down to 1 power. Yeah, we're not really in very good shape here. Need to draw like Wasp or Death Shadow. I guess if Wasp I get to go tap this. They jump unless they attack here. They might attack. Okay, they don't attack. Oh, right, sorry. So yeah, I could just go. Now I could just go heat the Fleshraker and then force the double chump. Although they do just have a second Devourer. Maybe I should have taken Devourer instead of Ugin. I just thought, they've got 2 Devourers and 1 Ugin. And I was hoping mostly that they just want to draw the land. Do you not like the Mythic Bilbo? So I like the Mythic Bilbo. I just really like that black card. I think that black card's super interesting. So I guess I have to draw Wasp or Death Shadow. Or, iteration into something. Or flow state, I guess. Tough. I think I'd like to bring in Consign to Memories here. Don't think I'm going to bring in any Meltdowns. No, they are playing a lot of Chalices right now. Probably do need a couple of Meltdowns. I think I'm going to trim off the flow state. I think I'd like to play 2-ish copies of Unholy Heat. Yeah, 2-ish. I think the Death Shadows will be pretty good on their own. I don't know that we need the Wasp combo. Although Wasp is kind of better than Unholy Heat. Yeah, Wasp was better than Unholy Heat. You just play 0 heats. I saw your thoughts on Bilbo attack, play something graveyard. Isn't Bilbo kind of like Arcanist? Maybe you play them together. Maybe. It is like, and you're not going to love hearing this, Zathis. It is just mostly a better Dreadhorde Arcanist. So I can play Channeler. I think we keep this on 7. I just play the iteration on turn 2 probably. Instead of mulling to 6. Bilbo's I think much better than Dreadhorde Arcanist. Oh, also, if you have been disappointed by Flow State, I do think Bilbo plays really well with Flow State, being able to like replay it for 1 mana. Is this a leak? I mean, it's gonna be a full spoiler tomorrow. 1/2 storied. As long as you have 3 or more artifacts, legends, or sagas, you have enduring story for the rest of the game. As long as you have an enduring story, you may pay 0 rather than pay the equip cost of the first equip ability you activate each turn. Whenever another dwarf equipment you control enters draw a card, this ability triggers once a turn. That card's pretty fucked up. Oh, it's from Gen Con? This is legal and modern, right? Please, I'm gonna wait to get my hopes up before someone confirms this is legal and modern, but worst Pure Steel. This card is much better than Pure Steel Paladin. I think, or it's maybe not much better, but it's I think it's mostly better. No, you guys misunderstand. If you play this while you have Metalcraft for the entire game, you can equip Hammer. This can die and you still have this ability, right? Oh no, sorry, I'm misunderstanding. Damn it. Sorry, I thought because I guess I was confused because this says you have it for the rest of the game, but this ability only matters while this is in play. Never mind. I'm misunderstanding. I might want to keep that. Let's go ahead and just maybe have that as an option to grab. Thoughtseize may be better. Okay, so yes, this card is just worse than Pure Steel Paladin. Yeah, the upside I guess is that they like Wrath Disguise you. You don't need Metalcraft. Yeah, it's also a little bit easier to cast. I mean, it's cool to have the redundancy, and it's gonna play very similar to. Oh, it's gonna play very similar. Oh, dude, they have the turn 2 Trinisphere. Because hopefully we can surveil into a land for the Meltdown. Requires 1 fewer artifact. Well, this is I see. 3 or more artifacts legendaries. It counts itself. Okay, I mean that's something. Do we think that they have K command? I'm gonna play around K command. Yeah, I think they're playing a little too slow to not have the K command here. Okay, so some advantages. I mean, they put Devour into their hand. That's got to be a misclick, dude. Or no, it's not. They're just gonna play a Tron land. Yeah, they're just gonna play Tron land. Okay. 2-2. All right, on the draw, new matchup. Let's mulligan. Keep this. Then we'll put back the second heat. Yeah, so there's a spell. It's black X. You exile the top X cards of your opponent's library, and you can play them until the end of turn. And you can pay life instead of the mana cost for any of the spells. I genuinely have no idea how good that card is. A lot of people are like interested in trying to play that as a win condition in Cabal Coffers. I think yes, we could try that. I also think that it's a good card to keep on top here. Yes, we could try that. I also think that the card may just be good to cast for 4 mana. It might just be a good card to cast for 4 mana. Maybe not. Maybe you're just gonna hit like land bad spell too often. But if it does end up being like a good card to cast for 4 mana, then all of a sudden this card's kind of crazy. Okay, well I hate seeing them get to mill 2 Oculi here. Interesting, you have to pay off. You don't have to pay life. You can spend mana, I believe. Okay, so they persistent Oculus, so I guess we're going to need to surveil into Delirium off the Thoughtseize. Or the Unholy Heat could also get us Delirium. Yeah, we're just going to have to be all in. Okay, I'll take a frog, I guess. All right, I'll concede if I miss, I think. I missed. Okay, game 2. Oh, you have to pay life. Okay, I guess I misread that one too. Okay, let's bring in the spell bombs. Let's bring in the edicts. Probably okay to be down a bauble with all of the artifacts we're bringing in. I kind of want everything I have. Maybe the 4th heat is kind of an easy trim because you don't really want to have 2 copies in your opening hand. I want to have all my draw 2s. So it seems like I'm going to have to trim some threats. I want the Wasp a lot. Wasp are just good naturally. I want the Shadows. Is Goyf the worst threat? Maybe. Maybe I'll trim 1 Death Shadow since you don't want 2 copies in your earlier. Yeah, maybe Channeler is maybe. Yeah, I could see Channeler being the worst since it is kind of weaker to their threats. Death Shadow feels so underpowered. Sad memory laying years ago. I guess I kind of disagree. I don't know. I disagree. We've trophied with Death Shadow like a couple months ago. I think the power level of the card still feels totally fine. I think it's very good with Wondrous Wasp. It's no longer the best one mana creature in Modern, but I actually think it's still genuinely a good card. And it's Wasp was like a really big get for it. So they play a Vexing Bauble. I think I want to get a little greedy. No, let's be good. Let's just get our Spellbomb down. Could maybe keep that. I think the greed of growing the Moonshadow's fine. I don't really need the land too bad anyways either. We got a Magic News channel. Nice, nice. What we do on this channel is we mostly brew decks and test them for the modern format, which is my favorite format. Not exactly the most beginner friendly, but I'm happy you're here. Discard an Oculus, they discard a Looting. I'm glad I played the Nihil Spellbomb. Interesting they boarded in the Vexing Bauble against me. So if they fetch Surveil here, they could cast an Oculus. Well, I'm definitely gonna stub this. And hopefully we get to grow the Moonshadow. Graveyard that. That's actually gonna turn on Flow State, which is nice. This seems like a card I'd like to draw. So I guess if my opponent cracks a fetch land, I'll just sack my Nihil Spellbomb. Okay, no fetch land. Wait, the Fatal Push. I didn't count the Fatal Push. Fuck. Okay. I could have, I guess I could have let it resolve and let the Vexing Bauble die. Obviously, I'd rather just exile their graveyard, but... Oh, they let the Vexing Bauble die, okay. Weird game, weird game. I could Flow State instead of Iteration here. I think it'll be fine to iterate since I want to grab a land. Although I'm going to graveyard this to grow the Moonshadow. And graveyard this to grow the Moonshadow. I don't think I could really pass up on that. It's also now lethal, so that's good news. The Channelers were very good that game, but I think I do agree that they are weaker. They are weaker to like the Frogs and the Oculite. I think on the draw I want the 4th Heat, so I think I like the attitude there. I think this could be a fine hand to keep on the draw against Grixis. Like that we can get the Edict in the yard for some Delirium help before we have to use the Heats. I'm going to lead on Thoughtseize. Let's get... Yeah, let's just take the Scour since we've got the Edict for the Frog. Don't want them like randomly milling something over. That's an interesting one. I think I wait on it so I can trigger the Moonshadow with it. But it does give me Delirium, so I can go Moonshadow, Cycle Wraith, and heat something if they draw Persist, Unearth, or Frog. They scour themselves. Okay, they did draw Frog. So now let's go play Moonshadow. Cycle the Wraith, Delirium online. Moonshadow 2/2. I guess I want to see if this is going to resolve. Not that they have enough cards to discard it anyways, but like... I guess they can't really even have like Unearth in their hand. Alright, let's grab Watery Grave. And play 1 mana 4/5, pass the turn. They keep a card on top. Don't have any channelers in the deck, so probably better to have like the Stubborn Denial land up. Oh, can I undo? Yeah, sorry. I need this in hand. Undo button's been real good to me lately. All right, feeling great about the spot. Bauble is lethal top deck. Seems like they have like a persist in their hand, maybe, with this like main phase surveil. They graveyard a frog. They could throw a Street Wraith at me, I guess. They also may be able to shrink a Goyf. Can they get me off Delirium? Getting me off Delirium is kind of interesting. They can if they target the Wraith. It'd be worth it to wait to cycle Wraith to see if they discard to save Frog from Heat before Delirium. Yeah, I think that would have been a better play. Spike, do you think they can unbend Deathray Shaman? Yeah, it's been years that I think they've been able to unbend Deathray Shaman safely. Like at least 2. It's like I think one thing that's really interesting about Deathray Shaman is the confliction with oh no, they messed up. Is how it conflicts with Badgerable Cub. Like I don't even think you'd play Deathray Shaman in like any Badgerable Cub deck. Maybe you would, but like the tension is pretty awkward there. And Shaman is also weaker than Ragavan, DRC, Guide, Pride, Tomio, I think kind of clearly. And there are like no there are no decks that it would slot into that see play at the metagame either. Okay. 3-2 this league was really fast. I think I want the extra Stubborn Denial.